Okay.
The whole is more than the sum of its parts.
Whole is definitely more than the sum of its parts. You'll notice that, we've got the best possible odds with that cuirassier there attacking versus, say, something like this. Of course we lost, but we did severely injure that longbowman. It's worth keeping in mind. He definitely has another one, though, but it does not have city defense 2. It does have guerrilla, though. Another thing to consider is maybe not attacking enemies and letting them heal up and promote, but getting your attacks done as soon as you can. But I've got the military to spare. Got a nice withdrawal there with the Great General. I'll take it. I can't check the odds there. We even did a little bit of damage to that longbow. 12.5%, understandably a loss. 36.2%, understandably a loss. 88.4% a victory. Unfortunately, those two longbows will get promotions and be able to heal up, so that they'll continue to be a threat to me in future turns. I should actually probably direct you towards there. And direct you down? We'll direct you down to contribute. You just stay there. Hello. Do whatever. You go to sleep. We have another one of you. That's great. Great merchant. Here's a great merchant. I would probably end up... Did I end up ever giving Munich that academy? No. I think Munich would end up being the best site for corporations. Along with Wall Street. We would need some more banks. Due to the small map size, we don't have to build as many banks or universities in order to qualify for things. I'd only need 2 more. The automation deciding to build things that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be that interested in. Like security bureaus, not a necessity right now, but what the hell. It happens. Gets a catapult out. That longbow gets Guerrilla 2. Lost to 63%. That was another 63%. I don't even think we damaged that guy when we ran, like, headfirst into him. And now, finally... Kill with the crossbow? Sure. Now, the Apostolic Palace, the Statue of Zeus, the Great Wall, University of Sancor, the Temple of Artemis, the Chichen Itza, the Hagia Sophia, the Angkor Wat, the Oracle, the Great Library, and the Pyramids are all ours. Some of these are not as useful as others, particularly at this point in the game. We also have 3 settled Great Prophets, and of course 2 scientists, and then a priest, due to the buildings here. We have this, which is a Great Prophet turned into a holy building for a holy city site. That's given me +2 hammers and +10 gold. The reason why it's giving me +2 hammers is because Hindu is the AP religion. The Apostolic Palace religion. And all buildings connected with the AP religion give +2 hammers. Those are raw hammers. As in, they're not modified by, well, as in, they can be modified by, like, if I had a forge here, those 2 hammers can run through the forge. If I had any other production multipliers, those same 2 hammers would run through those 2. It's as if you're working a tile improvement. Now, Manso would be willing to talk, and we could even get him to capitulate to us. He doesn't want to carry on this fight. He's good. he recognizes that he is totally and completely crushed. Is it worth keeping him around as a vassal? I typically don't like the whole idea of vassalization. But it does save us some time, you know, and that's really the only particular city of value, except for Jin. Jin has a few more wonders too, doesn't it? It does. The Church of the Nativity and the Temple of Solomon. Basically just two holy cities. I said nothing else of value. So why not show off these mechanics? Sure. Let's accept capitulation. We took his primary city of value. We don't have to fight anymore. We're good.
All the world
We got drama for free.
And all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Now, we have a little bit of unhappiness around here due to some yearning to join the motherland. So, that would be one reason why you wouldn't want to accept that and just punch him in the face. Just completely kill him entirely. But he could end up serving as a useful trade partner. You know, there's some value in keeping him around. There could be. You can end up directing him to research things. He'll build his own military. On higher difficulties, he'll have AI bonuses. And can be useful overall. But no particular need, and because that was a capitulation done in war, rather than peace, that's not something he's really going to have the strength to break out of. Yeah, his land and population are so much smaller than mine, and where the hell is he going to get more land and more population? I'm holding on to the cities I took. There's no exact need for me to muster, like, even more of a military up. Control-click to select all cities except for this one. Just have you guys route here and take a nap. Anyone who isn't built yet. You, station yourself there. We shouldn't deal with revolts either. We probably will still have to deal with revolts. It's hard for me to remember details, you know? Old man Grimith. We can trade with our friend. We could demand stuff from him. We can give him stuff. Like here. I'm a nice guy. Accept that as a gift. Accept that as a gift. That too, because we want him to be nice and strong, you know? There you go. And he's still happy that I voted for him, and that's staying there for a while still. Now, we are in a heathen religion compared to him, but we could also give him text to make him big and strong. Well, stronger. And that would behoove us to do so that he can actually, you know, potentially research something that's more useful to us. You know, we can make sure he has astronomy, so that he can trade across the ocean. And he's our pet. You two can just sit there. You sit there too. Great. So, where do we go from here? Wherever we want. I showed off a demonstration of what we could do in war by punching Mansa Musa in the mouth. And that gives us even more power. This guy, who's such a great techer, he's no more. From there, we can target other potential big threats, using a combination of galleons, or, if I want to get more advanced, I can do chemistry. To get access to that stuff, and then steal... Where are transports specifically at? Well, that requires oil or uranium, which is a bit further in our future. A point being, though, that, I can bombard city defenses from the coastline. I can attack any vessels they might have without declaring war. And then, with galleons, I can land troops right on top of them. And these are going to be rifles. You know, cavalry or rifles. Cavalry and rifles both have 15 or 14 strength. They are interesting glitch there. And they're not stopped or deterred by walls. Beautiful thing. Or I could sit back, we could go to space. I could win a cultural victory if I felt so inclined. Just really focus on commerce and slowly build up the culture. I'm not saying I would do it efficiently in any meaningful length of time. I could build the Sistine Chapel to make things a bit easier, but I would have a lot of turns to try to clear through. It'd be quicker for me to go down space. But there's an idea of it. This, I think, will bring an end to Noble's Club 191 for me. On Noble difficulty. I may play this on a bit of a harder difficulty to show off the same strategies used here, and show off how well those might work in the face of like some AI bonuses. Monarch comes to mind. But this is pretty far beneath my skill level, particularly since I've kicked off more of the rust. You could see some of the dangers involved if you don't build units. We didn't pursue a plan of, like, building wonders, though, at the early game. Killed Napoleon, took over the entire continent, and it's pretty strong sailing from there. When you have 20 cities, particularly, like, these 20 cities aren't too far from being fortified by some corporations. I do have that great merchant sitting there, and that is most definitely going for Sitsushi. And if I properly tried to go after a great engineer, then we could have the bonuses of the great engineer. But plus 7 food in all of my cities? Forget the culture, an extra 7 food. Delicious. And I would be raking in money from that, because I would place that in a city that had Wall Street in it. For great value. Good. So good. But yeah, we're strong. We're dominant. We have snowballed away from this game. We've run away from it. It was really telling when I eliminated Napoleon so early. All I had to do was take over my continent, and even settling some trash city like this. This is giving me value. I'm pulling in commerce here. I'm not trading with anyone else but my own cities. Pulling in a nice amount of commerce. Which is translating to 18 gold per turn. And we're losing 3.48 from maintenance. Woohoo! That's not an issue at all. So good. We're no longer in the golden age, but we're getting 1,000 beakers per turn. 1450 AD. I've definitely had better. But up to 24 cities. We get to take over borders automatically because we are Mansa Musa Suzerain, his overlord. And so we get to work these tiles, even though his cultural borders reign supreme. Even though the city's 99% Maladies. And the same will happen with that capital whenever it ends its resistance. And we will have these beautiful towns, and it will be sweet, sweet, delicious. More commerce. We've got windmills. Eventually, this run would get access to this, which makes corporations a bit more expensive, but we would get +2 commerce from all of our windmills. Definitely not state property. It'd be fun. I could run universal suffrage to finish production of my cities quickly. We've got pacifism, so I could more quickly go after great people. Or if I cared enough, I could swap to free religion, though there's still some value in me running a religion. For sure. See that upkeep reduction cost in me switching to pacifism. High upkeep versus no upkeep, even though it's extra gold cost for supporting military units. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, Nobles Club 191. I definitely think this is an interesting map. I don't think with my current skill level I could take this on a mortal, let alone deity, even with map knowledge. I would need numerous attempts with my current skill level, I feel. Even something like Emperor, I'd have a challenge. Monarch is probably where I would be most comfortable doing this stuff. I don't know, though. I might try it out. I can't swear to there being any more Civilization 4 series, though. This was just a spur-of-the-moment decision, because I have had viewers that have asked me for advice on how to play games, and this is definitely an interesting enough map to learn how to play Civilization 4. Teaching you the dangers of someone right next to you, like leaving him alone. On a difficulty that's lower, you could ignore him, but he would eventually slowly expand across this if you wanted to stay here and build wonders and use the marble and get the Great Lighthouse. Man, getting the Great Lighthouse for this map? Disgusting. Although, I mean, the Great Lighthouse does eventually get obsoleted here by Corporation. Still. That's one argument for settling the capital on the coastline. No seafood resources, but you could build a Great Lighthouse there. It's just, you start with mining, and you start with hunting. That's not fishing to get the sailing. You need to have sailing and masonry and have a lighthouse built in a city to build the Great Lighthouse. We have to get agricultural and animal husbandry to support our food bonus tiles. I guess you could mine these pigs, but it's also useful to know where horses are, particularly since, as we know, there's no copper nearby. There's a source of iron up here, and there's other iron across the map, but Napoleon's got iron and we don't in the start. I think the Great Lighthouse could be valuable, but I just think it's more valuable to kill Napoleon. Yeah. When we get this Oxford built, probably not the best spot to build it. Probably be better served in somewhere like Munich, but I'm building it here. What the hell? You know, someplace that's going to be strong research-wise, and my capital's not the strongest commerce-wise until these windmills do a bit more for us. You know, but that ends up being good value, too. We're getting 112 beakers out of it. It's not the best. Certainly had stronger Oxford sites. I also stopped micromanaging my shit, though, to some extent. Yeah. If you have any other questions about Civilization 4, I do recommend going to the Civ Fanatics forum and reading through, like, tips and strategies there. Maybe checking out a Nobles Club game, such as 191. Or you can go through, like, the earlier catalog of Nobles Club games and download those maps and run them yourself. They present curious moments that can help teach you this game. Certainly Napoleon next door, isolated start otherwise, no copper or iron nearby, only access to horses. I mean, sure, that's here, if you expand this way. But if you expand this way initially to try and claim this land from Napoleon, you'll provoke him. And he may begin plotting against you, and then come after you. Because that's what he does. He builds lots of units. I feel more comfortable taking him out first, and then just expanding. Because with 20 cities, you can do a lot. Particularly if you build those faster than the AI does. Now, if Augustus over here quickly eliminated Churchill, then he could, like, threaten to run away with the game, and you'd have to do something about that. But in this situation, he didn't. Disgusting. Double gems, these for food. Not the best food tiles, but... Ugh, he's got the marble, too. Rome... not the greatest of city starting locations. Clams, the silk there. Double gem, though. Ugh. Interesting to take a look around the map and see how other people's capitals turned out. Carthage here. If that's where the settler was, double dies. Gotta wait until plantations for those. Or I gotta wait until calendar, effectively. Marble, though, in the big fat cross, and a dry corn up there. Not the greatest of starts, but once you get that border pop, it does pretty nicely. It's not too bad. Man, some Musas here, though. Pfft. Copper, iron, the cow. He's got a deer tile, and he's got irrigated corn. Not pretty bad. Not too bad. And then Paris up here. It's alright. And ours. It's alright. I liked our start. Pretty nice. And it had that interesting moment there. But yeah, that does definitely take care of this, though. There's no further challenge for me. I'd have to intentionally sabotage myself in order to lose this game. And that's noble difficulty for you. So apply yourselves, exert some effort, take out warmongers around you who's threatening you. Don't just kick back and enjoy the show. You know, be active around you rather than reactive. Work towards winning the game, because the AIs in general do that. To some extent. They aren't the best at it, but, you know, they do try to win. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.